Welcome to the Explainer. Every single day, so many of us walk around carrying these heavy, unspoken questions about our health. It's like this silent burden, right? We notice a little ache, we worry about a symptom, and we just kind of agonize over what might be going on beneath the surface. Well, today, we're going to dive into something absolutely crucial. We're talking about how to transform that paralyzing fear into empowering action. We're talking about knowing your status. And look, this quote right here, it hits the nail on the head for so many of us. You might be terrified to get tested, or maybe you're in the camp of, oh, well, that's never going to happen to me. Or, let's be real, maybe there's that heavy, lingering dread of what society or your neighbors might think. Those anxieties, they are incredibly common. But letting those fears run the show, it just leaves those vital health questions completely unanswered. So, the core philosophy we're looking at today, specifically under the HIV/AIDS care program, is really simple, but it is so powerful. Testing is power. Testing is protection. Testing is hope. Deciding to actually know your status isn't just about getting a piece of paper with a medical result. It's literally a life-saving action. It puts you firmly back in the driver's seat of your own future.
Section 1. Why HIV testing matters. Because early action really does save lives.
Now, while HIV continues to affect millions of people all over the world, the narrative has drastically changed over the years. Modern medical advancements mean that people living with HIV can live incredibly long, healthy, and productive lives, as long as they act early. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's actually define what we mean by knowing your status. It isn't just about HIV. It means getting tested for a whole range of critical conditions. We're talking diabetes, high blood pressure, STIs, and tuberculosis. It's basically about getting a clear picture of your baseline health early on, way before things become serious or unmanageable. And this all builds into this amazing, positive pipeline of care. The journey goes straight from early testing right into counseling and support, which then unlocks access to treatment and ultimately leads to healthy living. Getting tested isn't some dead end or a final sentence. No way. It is literally just step one in a highly supported, life-affirming journey toward overall wellness.
So, what's actually in it for you, right? Why is taking that first step so critically important? Well, early detection saves lives because it allows you to manage illnesses right away. It actively protects your family and your partners by stopping the spread of infections. Plus, it massively reduces that underlying fear and anxiety we were just talking about. And honestly, it just encourages you to adopt a healthier lifestyle overall. The longer you put this off, the greater the risk to your health.
Moving on to Section 2, breaking the fear and stigma, courage over shame. Okay, we really need to address the elephant in the room here. The single biggest barrier to getting tested isn't usually a lack of access, it's fear. It's that deep-rooted fear of judgment, the fear of rejection from the people you love, and that paralyzing fear of the unknown. It's that constant gnawing anxiety of just living in the dark. But here's the thing. Knowing your status completely strips away that fear of the unknown. It replaces all that anxiety with clarity, peace of mind, and total control over your health choices moving forward. So we need to completely flip the script on how we think about this. Getting tested is an act of absolute courage and responsibility. HIV testing should never, ever be associated with shame. When you step up to get tested, you are making a brave, incredibly responsible choice for yourself and for everyone you care about.
Because ultimately, this is about community. Communities become so much stronger when people actually support one another, instead of spreading stigma and discrimination. Look, nobody should ever feel alone in this process. Every single person deserves dignity, care, and a community standing right there behind them.
Section 3. The importance of HIV/AIDS care. Living positively and confidently. Like we established earlier, the journey definitely does not stop at the testing clinic. Comprehensive care is the engine that actually helps people live positively after a diagnosis. And a truly prime example of that support system in action is the Guardian Angels Botswana Society, or GABS for short. They are this dedicated community organization built specifically to hold your hand through every single step of the process, really turning that fear we talked about into total empowerment. And what's truly remarkable here is the sheer scope of what GABS offers. They actually partner with clinics to provide free, mobile, and even door-to-door HIV testing services. They run awareness and education sessions in schools, churches, workplaces, you name it. They've got targeted youth empowerment programs to mentor the next generation. They even run mobile outreach roadshows and provide crucial referral services to connect people with the right health facilities. Basically, they make sure help is always incredibly accessible.
And since we know anxiety is such a huge hurdle, let's take a look at their psychosocial support. GABS offers pre-test and post-test counseling, mental wellness support, family counseling, and dedicated HIV support groups. These safe spaces are intentionally designed to alleviate all that isolation and mental distress that so often comes along with health fears. You really don't have to go through it alone. But if you take away just one thing today, let it be this. HIV does not define a person's value, and it certainly doesn't define their future. With proper care, comprehensive wellness education, things like learning about healthy eating and fitness, and the right support groups, people absolutely continue to lead vibrant, successful, and deeply meaningful lives. Bringing us to Section 4, a message to the community. Your health matters.
I want to speak directly to you for a second. Whether you're a young person just figuring life out, a parent, or someone looking out for your whole family, your health matters. Knowing your status is quite literally one of the most important decisions you can make for yourself and the people you love. So let's just completely dismantle any lingering myths right now. First, HIV testing is completely confidential, period. Second, the process is remarkably quick and safe. Third, as we've seen, treatment allows for long, healthy lives. And finally, early treatment significantly reduces the risk of transmitting the virus to anyone else.
It really all boils down to this one simple, powerful truth. Testing saves lives. It's just that straightforward. Please don't wait until it's too late to find out what's going on in your own body. By taking action today, you are actively securing your tomorrow.
And healthy communities really do start with you. Individual awareness leads directly to prevention. And that prevention, that is the absolute foundation for building much healthier, far stronger, and more supportive communities overall. The whole thing starts with your single individual choice.
Ultimately, the power of testing truly is the power of knowledge. Ending the fear, ending the stigma, and making informed decisions, it all starts with knowing your own body. That knowledge is exactly what unlocks the door to treatment, to community support, and to genuine, lasting hope.
I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over. There is absolutely no shame in testing. The real danger, the only real danger, is not knowing. So protect your future and take control of your health. Because when the tools for a long, healthy life are sitting right in front of you, what questions are you willing to leave unanswered?